A program at the Barnstable Senior Center that was slated to end will be able to continue. We have details about what not to recycle before heading to the transfer station and find out how your high schooler can earn college credit before graduation. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Monday, June 29th, 2015. I'm Sarah Mantle. Low enrollment nearly shut down the Barnstable Senior Center's Adult Supportive Day program, but a last-minute budget item passed by Town Council will allow the program to continue. Assistant Town Manager Mark Ells says he was glad to see the Council's support for the program.
Our staff had brought into us a review of the program itself and the fee structuring for the program, months ago. And we were looking at the viability of continuing that program. Once that discussion broadened, it was clear to us from our town council that they wanted to see the program maintained in a safe manner that was appropriate for those people who are participating in the program. So staff has gone back. They're going to continue to manage the clients that they have there. They're going to reach out to those who had formerly participated and see, have they moved into another situation that is appropriate, or would they want to continue coming back? We're going to review what we've been doing and some of the challenges that we had right immediately. And then I would say over the next 3 months, definitely within 6 months, we'll come back with a reformulated program at that facility. Now, the council has said to us that, if you need to discuss funding sources with us, then please bring this back, and we'll keep them advised as we progress through kind of reformatting this program. It's from my understanding of it, I'm not directly involved with the programs at the Senior Center, meaning I'm not managing them, right. But it's my understanding that this isn't an uncommon challenge at all for senior centers. There's this gap between when our seniors are able to live on their own and when they have to move into a medically managed scenario that I'm not positive whether the private sector has filled that gap with different programs for our seniors. And so I think senior centers have stepped up in some cases and provided that. The problem is, I think, the kind of gray area as you move toward the medical supported programs. And we don't have nurses working there. We don't have health professionals working there. So we just have to make sure that the parameters of our program are appropriate for those that we're serving.
And the Barnstable Senior Center's Adult Supportive Day program has operated for the past 17 years. More residents are recycling thanks to the ease of single stream recycling. But as Energy Coordinator Richard Elrick tells us, some items are making its way into the recycling stream that shouldn't be there.
In order for the processors of the recycling products to maximize the potential profits for the resale and the reuse of the recyclables, and for us to keep our costs down, we have to be very sure that the recyclables that we're putting into our single stream don't get contaminated. And we may have a screenshot that I can show you, sort of what we're calling a recycling barrel's dirty dozen. And I know that'll be up on the screen soon, but it's a list of the things that we should not be putting into our recycling. And I know it can be confusing when you talk about single stream. Residents and folks who use the system, they sort of think anything can go in there. And that really isn't the case. And if there's any question, it's better that it end up in your trash. And I'll run through some of those products that shouldn't be in the trash stream. We call them a dirty dozen. There's probably more, but certainly you don't want to be putting leaves, any kind of plastic toys, hard plastic. Certainly no trash, no styrofoam or polystyrene as it's referred to. No clothes, they can be recycled separately. No pots or pans of any kind. No wood, no dishes, plastic or glass. No plastic bags, that's really a no-no. no plastic furniture, certainly no hazardous waste, and very importantly, no food waste. And one of the things that's interesting about single stream recycling is that the commodities market is changing. These are commodities, and most of the recyclables that we get separated out ultimately end up in China. And China has begun refusing some of the loads of recyclable materials that are coming in there. So there's pressure from that angle, and partly it's due to how our packaging is changing. We used to have much more cardboard. Obviously there was much more newspaper. Now our packaging, whether it's plastic or cardboard, it's getting smaller, it's getting thinner, so there's much less weight, but still, you know, quite a bit of volume, and that reduces the value of these products. So, and the other challenge for the processors and all of these recycling elements that come together in single stream, they have to be sorted. We have done that sorting previously, but now there are machines that are able to do it, along with people assisting those machines. And what often happens is, for example, if you have wood in there, or if you have garden hoses, we've seen a lot of garden hoses get deposited as well, and plastic bags. And all of these products not only contaminate the recyclables, particularly food waste, but the plastic bags, for example, they gum up the technology so that it actually has to be stopped, has to be cleaned out periodically. And that slows down the process and reduces the kind of value that these recyclable materials have. So over the next months and really ongoing, we're going to do whatever we can to educate our customers at the transfer station about what recycling right really means and how to make sure that you only put in your recyclables what should be there and you throw away the rest.
For a full list of acceptable items, you can visit town.barnstable.ma.us and click through to the transfer station. High school students now have the chance to earn college credit even before graduating. Cape Cod Community College Communications Director Michael Gross says many students are beginning to take advantage of the college's dual enrollment program.
This is, in fact, a program in which the students enroll in a college course, but the high school gives them academic credit for it, as well as a student earning college credit. So a student, for example, needs to take an English course. They are able to work at the college level. They come in and take a literature course, take an English composition course, and they get their high school credit for it, as well as the college credit. We have students, quite frankly, who earn up to a full year's worth of high school credits and college credits all at the same time. This is a program that can be funded through some of the funds coming from the high school that the student already gets. There are other examples in which students pay for it themselves. But the bottom line is what they've done is they've advanced their academic program after high school so that they graduate from high school. They're already a year into a college program. Ultimately, they'll graduate earlier than many of their peers, putting them into the job market, career market that much earlier. That we find is very successful. Students take them, many times they'll take a full college course instead of taking an advanced placement course at the high school. There's been a lot of discussion within the academic community as to whether or not the advanced placement courses are getting to be so common that elite schools aren't paying a lot of attention to those on a transcript. But when you have a fully accredited college course, that is a very different animal and is highly respected at the transfer or the admission institution. So that is something students are taking advantage of all over the Cape. We've at times had 50 to 60 different high school students in the college at any one time, and this would be a good time for a student to look at what they're planning to take in the coming year.
And Gross says the college will host several information sessions for students and parents on the dual enrollment program Wednesday, July 15th and Wednesday, July 22nd. You can visit capecod.edu to learn more and to register for those information sessions. Well, be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with Police Chief Paul McDonald. We'll talk with Joe and Dolores DeLuz, the Grand Marshals of the Hyannis 4th of July Parade. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.